Now, I know pretty much everyone in the country was trying to figure out if they had the Super Lotto ticket.
Yes.
The Super Lotto, no, not even a Lotto, the Super Lotto.
Do you even play?
Well, I was searching. How many days has it been?
Almost 2 months. After 54 days of waiting, the winner of the Super Lotto jackpot has finally come forward to claim his prize today. $158.4 million to be exact. The man, who is known as A. Campbell, said he has been sick since the day he found out he won the Super Lotto. He says high on his list of priorities is to purchase a home. He's also eyeing several investment options so he can hold on to his once-in-a-lifetime jackpot for as long as possible. Now, Mr. Campbell purchased a $200 ticket on November 23 last year at G&E Grocery on O'Mara Road in Kingston. He says the lucky numbers came from a dream, which is a usual occurrence for the long-time Super Lotto player. Congratulations to him. Well, the energy landscape is set to undergo major transformation this year, with initiatives which are expected to considerably slash electricity costs. Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark spoke about the changes at Mayberry's monthly investor forum yesterday. TVJ's Andrew Laidley reports.
In about 6 months, the Jamaica Public Service JPS will start tapping into its 190 megawatt LNG fuel plant in Old Harbour, St. Catherine. The move will cut JPS's fuel expenditure by about 75%, a welcomed reduction which Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark hopes will be passed on to consumers.
At current levels of oil prices, JPS spends just less than $20 million a month with Petrojam on HFO. When that plant has been commissioned and is kicking, their purchases of HFO will drop to less than $5 million.
Dr. Clark also announced plans to launch an initial public offer IPO for Wigton Wind Farm in the first quarter of this year, a long-awaited move which will see Jamaicans owning a direct stake in government assets. 2019
is when it has been happening, but it's going to take on new momentum. And we're going to begin the year with the privatization or the sale via an IPO on the Jamaica Stock Exchange of Wigton Wind Farm.
And that's just the beginning. The finance minister pledged to roll out other IPOs throughout the year.
Wigton will be the first, but it will be followed by others. So before you wire any money abroad and think you go, well, I hope you learn your lesson, by the way. I hope you learn your lesson. But before you, just remember that there'll be assets that are going to be coming onto market for your investable dollars.
Andrew Laidley, TVJ News.
The Bank of Jamaica is to account once again to the Finance Minister on the reasons for inflation being below target last year. The report should be sent by March 15. The requirement is part of the IMF agreement and comes after data released earlier this week show inflation in 2018 was 2.4%. The BOJ's target is 4 to 6%. The central bank says inflation was lower than forecast because of a decline in agricultural and oil prices. Inflation missing target may be associated with weakness in the economy. The BOJ said inflation could remain below target in the current March quarter. And we go down to currency trading as the greenback sold for $132.78 today. The Canadian dollar closed at $100.29. The pound is going for $169.41, while the euro ended the day selling at $151.42. Now, oil prices traded higher today. Oil for delivery in February went up by 17 cents to settle at $52.22 a barrel. Former Prime Minister Edward Seaga says the government has made the right decision to retake Venezuela's 49% shares in Petrojam. Mr. Seaga was speaking on RJR's call-in program Hotline today. He reiterated that Petrojam is in need of an upgrade, which was not being undertaken by Venezuela.
It's the last resort. It's been going on for some time.
trying to get out of the 49-51% ratio that they exist by in order to improve Petrojam. And we haven't been able to make a move on that. So it's the last resort now is to just give notice that you're going to acquire it.
Mr. Siaga responded to assertions that the government's move could send a wrong signal to foreign investors about Jamaica.
People are raising this as an issue that is very dangerous to us. It is an issue that is dangerous if you have no good reason. But if you have good reason that is in the interest of your country, and very much so, and you can't get through with all the other ways of doing it, you have to do it with the last resort.
What about arbitration?
And nobody should be offended by that.
What about arbitration, Mr. Siaga? Why the government says it's too costly and it's too lengthy?
Both of them.
Both
too
of them.
costly and too lengthy. I believe they've had arbitration at the sort of local level, but I don't see it getting any further than at the same levels of findings if you go the longer route.
We go on to the stock market as the JSE index lost 1,018 points today, while the junior market index is up by 12 points. Now, among the winners today were AMG Packaging and Paper, Everything Fresh, SLV Ventures Capital, Knutsford Express, and Consolidated Bakeries. On the losing side were Sterling Investments, Blue Power Group, Cygnus Credit Investments, Caribbean Flavors and Fragrances, and Jamaican Teas. And that's the Business Day. I'm Herman Green. Good evening.